everybody, Kelly Acheson at AStampAbove.com coming to you from a very snowy and blustery Menasha, Wisconsin today. Don't worry though, because in a couple days it's going to be 50 degrees again, so the snow will go away, but oh, are we getting hammered today. Anyways, I wanted to share the coolest background technique with you. It's called Aqua Wash, and I just found it the other day and knew that I had to try it for my Technique Tuesday class. And I have to tell you, it is the easiest background I think I've ever done with the most spectacular results. So here's a preview of 4 different color combinations, and let's get started and I'll show you how I did this. The cardstock layers that I have for my card today are Smoky Slate, that is 5.5 by 8.5, and I've just folded it in half. And then I've got a piece of Whisper White for the inside that is 3 3/4 by 5, a little smaller than normal. I've got a piece of watercolor paper, and let me see, that is 4 3/4 by 3.5. I love this grid paper because I use it to measure all the time. And a piece of black, our basic black cardstock, that is 4 7/8 by 3 5/8, so just 1/8 of an inch bigger here. We are going to take the watercolor paper and do our technique right away so that has time to dry. So I've just got a regular Ziploc bag here, and I'm going to lay it over top of my watercolor paper because that'll tell me how big my scribble lines need to be. I'm going to use a color combination that is Elegant Eggplant, Island Indigo, and Rich Razzleberry. And I've got 3 more color combinations to show you, so make sure you stick around. I'm just going to come in here and scribble some color onto my Ziploc bag. And I'm using the coloring end of my markers. Did you know that our markers have a thick end here for the coloring tip and a thin end here for the writing tip? So kind of a neat little thing. I didn't know that for years, so it was kind of funny when I found that out because I was like, what? Okay, there's our Rich Razzleberry. Now I'm going to move this aside and I'm going to bring in one of my bigger Aqua Painters. So when you buy the Aqua Painters, you get 2 in a pack. One has smaller tip and this one is the bigger tip. And I am just going to put some water down on my watercolor paper. Now, each one of these is going to turn out different depending on how much water you use. And I've kind of squirted a little bit. I've squeezed it, and I've got quite a bit of water on there. And now I'm going to bring my Ziploc bag in, and I am going to smoosh it around. Just squish it like this, and that'll kind of blend the colors together. Look at that. And now I kind of like to tip it, and it'll make if there's any water left over, it'll make it kind of run. It looks super, super cool, right? Oh my gosh, I just love this. The little veins and all this stuff you have going on here. So, like I said, depending on how much water you brush on here with your Aqua Painter, that's going to determine how this turns out. If you don't get a lot of water, you're going to see more definite scribble marks from your markers on this bag. And then I just wipe this bag off and I can use it again. So there we go. Oh, recycle, right? So I'm going to set this aside for just a couple minutes and do the rest of my card and allow that to dry. You can also bring out your heat tool and heat that up so it dries faster. I want my basic black layer to be up on dimensional, so I can put those on right now and pick the back off while I'm waiting for my watercolor paper to dry. And as long as I'm doing that, I want to tell you a little something. So I made this card. I'm trying to find it right now. I made one using our shimmer white paper because that tends to have a little more protection on it for water type techniques. It got all funny, it buckled up, and it just was not a good choice. So stick with the watercolor paper for this one. I think it's because we put so much water on it that you really do need some paper that's made for that, right? I'm going to bring in my black Stays On ink pad, And I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday, Gorgeous. I love this set. This is coming to you from the Beautiful You set. You actually get 2 cases with all of these stamps in them, and this has been so popular. It's an amazing stamp set. And again, I'm a font girl, so I love all these fonts on the words. All right, and then you're going to see this image right here. I forgot to get that out of the bin. I'm going to take this image and I'm going to, well, first I'm going to close up my StazOn ink. Don't forget to close that as soon as you're done using it because it'll dry up on you if you don't. And I've got Island Indigo, which matches one of the colors on the front. And I am just going to stamp this right below. And it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a signature piece, right? I just thought that would be kind of cool on the inside. You know that I like to decorate the insides of my cards. And I'm going to attach this to the inside of my card right away so we can get all this preliminary stuff done. Here comes our layer again, and this is kind of a cool thing to do. So I have my color on here, and now I'm just going to take my Aqua Painter and kind of tap it onto my finger. And what that's going to do is it's going to put droplets of water on top of my color. And once they start to dry, this is what they do. That's the effect I used here by tapping that Aqua Painter on and splattering water. It makes little water spots all over. And another thing this reminded me of is like a galaxy scene. So this would be cool with some type of a nighttime stamp set or a nighttime card where you've kind of got, you know, all this color going on, maybe the northern lights. I just thought it was pretty neat. So this is starting to dry and I can start to see some of the dots coming through. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a heat tool and speed up our drying process here of those little dots that I just put on here. Kind of tilting it in the light so I can see it better. Oh, look at the dots coming up. You could do as many or as few as you would like on here. I like to put a little heat on the back of my cardstock because it's starting to buckle a little bit, and that heat will make it lay back down. Okay, now we are going to stamp this gorgeous lady on the front. And again, I'm using StazOn ink, and I'll show you in a minute why that's super important. And then I didn't stamp very good, did I? Oh, I've got a double there. Well, you get the idea. That almost looks kind of cool. So make sure you ink this up good before you stamp. And then I've got the saying that says, "Life looks beautiful on you." There we go. That turned out good. The last thing I wanted to do is use the Wink of Stella marker and add a little bit of glimmer to my lady's dress. And this is going to be really hard for you to see in the video, but just trust me that it is sparkly. And when you tilt it in the light, you can see that. It is absolutely gorgeous. See if I can get some more out here. There we go. I didn't have much coming out. There we go. You just squeeze that a little bit and you can see the liquid coming down into the tube there. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Can you see the glimmer? Without the double lady, it would look better, but I'm going to go ahead because I don't think that looks horrible and I'm going to use it. I'm going to put glue all the way around the outside of this to make sure that it's going to lay down flat on my black layer. We're going to attach that to the front of our card. And then bring in our watercolor paper. And then I just felt like this card needed just one more thing. What could I do with it? And of course, I had to bring in some bling. So I've got some rhinestones here. And I'm going to add one of each size. Oops, hang on, I got two stuck together there. There we go. I did this one and that one and a little one. How about right there? There we go. And that's just the right amount of bling on the front of this card. Okay, so let me show you the others that I've made. This is the same color combination. This is Elegant Eggplant, Island Indigo, and Rich Razzleberry. And again, I did the spots of water on here to get this effect. This one is Bermuda Bay, Pear Pizzazz, and Watermelon Wonder. And remember when I said you really should use StazOn ink to stamp your lady? You can see there's a little bit of dark discoloration in here, and that's the ink bleeding, because on this particular card, I did not use StazOn ink. I used my Memento ink pad, and the wink of Stella kind of made the black image bleed a little bit. Then I have this color combination. This is Elegant Eggplant, Wisteria Wonder, and Rich Razzleberry. And can you see the sparkle on her dress? And I did not put any water dots on here. And then this one, which is Melon Mambo, Pumpkin Pie, and Daffodil Delight. And I just think these are so, so pretty. And I noticed that this one is missing a rhinestone. So I'm just going to add that. Whoops. I'm going to add it to my finger. Add that little rhinestone right there. There we go. I hope you like this Aqua Wash. This is like a gorgeous and super, super simple technique. This Aqua Wash technique card is part of my online VIP club. And what that is when you put in a minimum $25 order every month for 6 months, you'll earn free rewards at the end of the 6 months to spend on anything you'd like. You also have access to my VIP online group where I share exclusive projects and ideas on there. And you'll get not only the card, but also the technique card with the instructions on it and a little sample of the technique. So you'll get this mailed right to you each month at the end of the month. So if you would like to participate in my online VIP club, pop me an email and let me know, and I will get you started right away. After a while being in that group, you're going to accumulate several of these instruction cards with various techniques on them. It's a great way to go back to things that you may have forgotten, see different techniques that you've done in the past, and maybe incorporate them in your future stamping. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be happy to earn your business. You want to pop me an email at kelly@astampabove.com. I'll be happy to send you our catalogs. Also, make sure you hop on over to my blog. I'll have all the ingredients and dimensions in one place there with my video. And make sure right down here in this bottom corner is a subscribe now button. You'll see it on your screen while you're watching the video. Click that and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll be sure not to miss anything in the future. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Add a little sparkle to someone's day and send them a card.